I want to welcome you guys to this live broadcast today. And I actually am very, very expedient that I do this broadcast today because the kinds of things that are happening in our land are just very poisonous to the soul. It's so disturbing that sometimes you begin to wonder what is wrong with our people just because they want to make money, just because they want to control, just because they want to have this intoxicating spirit, this demonic intoxicating spirit that wants to make them control resources, control money, control people. And so they go any extent to blackmail, to sell, to you know to what I mean by sell is to rebel against authority, especially the authority of Mazen Khan, who is directly in charge of uh, the Afra project and whose opinions we all ride on because he has been given that mandate to actually carry out this program by Chukwukike, and all we do is we support him in all ways. And the problem here is that we have so many people who have made themselves evil resistance, resisting truth, resisting everything that has to do with truth, and standing against everything that has to do with common sense. Common sense entails that we preserve nature, we preserve our nation, we preserve one another. Common sense entails that you become your brother's keeper. Common sense entails that you consistently look forward to the betterment of your nation, Biafra nation, and look towards the betterment of everyone who is a citizen of that nation. And at the same time, looking forward to seeing that you are part of elevating somebody else's life and making their lives better. But here we are, people who, want to be relevant, steal from the people, which of course their principal, called Simon Ekpa, who is in Finland, a criminal in Finland, had the opportunity of accessing Biafra people and the funds of the people because of the predicament of Muslim and the based on that, and because he has been the one at the space at that point in time, whom everybody, like people like us, have been saying that he's standing on the path of truth, and we began to promote him. And then the people began to see that yes, this man he has been talking like he belongs to Mazin and the Khan. And then they decided to now begin to fund him, begin to release funds, and to see how he can become the one who is going to stand in the gap on behalf of the people, and then push forth to see that the people themselves become very, very, represented, since Mazin and the Khan is not present. And since we're hoping that he is going to come in soon, somebody should stand in the gap as speaking the language of the people, and at the same time operating in the dimension of what Mazin and the Khan represents and the truth mandate, because the issue of Biafra is about truth. If you are going in another dimension, you are wasting your time. You're not going to get anything done. And here we are, we have this fundamental issue of the atrocious behavior he the atrocious behavior of Simon and his boys, because these are, I remember one time they were having a meeting with Azuka is still with them anyways. If you don't know, you just have to know. Even if they are still rivals, they're this one want to overtake the other one, that one want to overtake the other one. Azuka is still building her own team, Simon also his own team, but of course the funds are managed by the two, because uh, unless if the accounts have been changed underground, Mazuka's name has been removed, and and all of that. But now we believe they are working together, because that is why they can't expose each other. They have to hide their secrets because they are criminals, and they can't just destroy the business for themselves. So the best thing is just to stay calm and quiet underground and do what they have to do separately, quietly, so they don't destroy the business. So these ones can be receiving funds, the other one can be receiving funds. this one is still receiving the funds. They are stealing the resources. Now, look at what we are experiencing right now. Right now, the other time I had to circulate the picture of a girl, or Carrie, Chibest, that's her name, a little girl of 16 who is supposed to be writing her WIAC right now, who is supposed to be in school right now, carrying out, writing the exams. The exams have begun. The WIAC exams has begun, and she is supposed to be writing right now, but rather we're having a situation where she was kidnapped by Simon's boys, controlled by Gentle, and the so-called Gentle is harboring her in his camp, and she has become a sex toy. And what the news coming out is that he said he's going to marry her and all of that. Now, that is not the only girl that this has been done. This has been done against. What this kind of thing done against one person is done against everybody. Now, patriotism is very, very crucial in the sense that you understand that any injustice that is done to one person is actually done to everybody. That is how an average American reasons, and that's why their nation is succeeding. They believe in patriotism. Patriotism doesn't mean to recite the national anthem or the national pledge. That's not patriotism. Patriotism is not to say you are not going to go into criminality. No, that's not patriotism. That's being, of course, morally just, trying to be sensible, that you don't want to go into crime. You don't want to go into stealing resources and all of that. Patriotism is to be able to stand on behalf of somebody else who is in the situation, especially basically, that's what it entails, because you are patriotic to your nation when you are securing the back of the other person who is part of your nation, which means that your nation is not about you, it's about every other person who is part of what you are or who is part of that nation, which means that nationhood entails people, not one person. And if one person is thinking of themselves alone, then there's no nation, because nation is about a group of people, more than one person with common ties, having the same focus, having the same mandate for the collective existence, and all of this stuff. And yet you have a particular girl representing other girls being kidnapped by Simon boys. Now, I don't know how you people reason, especially those of you who are Simon's henchmen, and those of you who have decided that in spite of anything, you will support criminality and nothing but criminality. So those of you who don't have self-esteem, those of you who don't have personality, you have lost your personality, you have lost your senses, you have lost your ability to reason, you have lost your conscience. I don't know what is wrong with you people, because whatever Simon does is okay with you. Recently, you saw the video, you saw him post something on social media. That was last week. He took somebody's video, a Russian, military man of Biafra descent, and of course a Biafran who is in the Russia army fighting on the front line for the Russian nation. Based on the fact that he is also a citizen of Russia, he's married to a Russian, he has Russian children, and he sees it as mandatory to fight for the purpose of being patriotic to the nation of Biafra, which of course he is also part, the nation of Russia, which he is also part of. And suddenly Simon began to post the pictures of that guy. Now, he was playing very, very smart to you guys. The problem is that most of our people are not even very psychologically upright or psychologically alert. You just dance to anything. You don't know, you don't ask yourself question, why is this person doing this? The first question that prompts psychological reasoning is the question why. Whenever anything happens, the first thing that should come to your mind is the question of why. Why is he doing this? Why am I doing this? Why should I do this? When you ask yourself, when you are good in asking why, you will discover that your brain will begin to exude the energy it has of being able to analyze situations and at the same time resolve situations or resolve and get answers to questions. Simon came up first. Before I talk about the issue of the girl that was kidnapped and other girls that have been kidnapped, let me talk about this. Simon came up on his platform and he posted a picture of that Russian army, military guy, the Russian Biafran, who is also in the Russian army fighting. He posted it. He didn't caption it. He didn't do anything. He just posted it. He knows that as daft as you are and as a stupid follower you are and as ignorant as you are, all you will do is you begin to jubilate. Wow, this is because you see the badge on his uniform. You see the Biafra badge and all of that. You begin to jubilate. Wow, this guy is working with Simon. That's will be your conclusion. He knows that is you. He knows how to prompt you to make conclusions on his behalf and sell the narrative without him making a statement. And he knows that you are as daft as that and you are low in your mentality, in your reasoning. So he will always adjudge things, helping him to adjudge things that he doesn't comment on. If you look critically on pictures he posts without commenting, you'll discover that he's trying to sell a narrative of promoting himself and his criminal autopilot team, on social media autopilot team, promoting them without making a statement, knowing that you would already or you will always assume and believe that what he has posted is actually part of him. And he knows that you have that tendency of being not being very reasonable as a henchman of him, that you know, because one, he has come up with lots of evidences of his criminality. You have not said anything. You keep promoting him, you keep praising him, you keep doing everything. I had to do this broadcast. I didn't want to talk about, of course, there's no way I can talk about him because definitely he's stealing from you every day. He's cheating you every day. He's stealing from you. He is manipulating you every day. So I have to call your attention to them every day. Even if I don't talk about them every day, definitely, but I'm going to point them out as I keep doing. I want to talk about success code and all of that and go on with all those narratives of giving us tips on how we can be successful, not just as individuals, but as a people and as a nation, because these tips are very, very important for us to understand all of this stuff. And if you're going to talk about success, then first you must talk about the reasonable principles that guide success. You can't talk about success without understanding who you are and what you are called for, your purpose, because success goes in line with purpose, definitely, which means you must understand why you are and why you are doing what you're doing and why you are where you are, or why you are brought into a thing, or why you are called or designed to or wired to do a thing, so that you can understand, you can measure success in what you do. And this is very, very important now. Now let's look at it critically now. He comes up with this picture, he posts the picture and all of that. If that guy, because do you know, let me help you understand why someone is deliberately selling a narrative without making a statement, knowing that you are the one who is going to push the narrative on his behalf, and then you are the one who is going to assume. He is trying to make you assume and believe that the man is working with him. Now, if you go to the comment section, you see people talking about it. Wow, we are going forward. We are moving forward. Wow, this man is also working with us. Wow, we are doing wow. Simon is moving forward. And he never commented. He never said anything to say, no, this man is not part of me, but I'm just promoting what he's doing in his own way as an enabler or as a boost, or to help you boost your mindset to believe in what we are also doing so that we can move ahead. That was what he was supposed to do if he was truly truthful and if he was sincere and if he's not a criminal. But he always wants to manipulate things. That's not the first one. That's not the second one. That's not the third one. There's so many things that he has tried to manipulate to boost his own personality without saying a word, without commenting, without making a statement. He just posts it, knowing that he knows naturally that once he posts a thing, you are going to have that impression that he is actually working with that thing and he's actually the one facilitating that thing to happen. And so he posts the picture of that guy, telling you that the impression he's trying to give you is that he's penetrating the international community, and what he's doing is being identified by other forces and other military and military of other nations. He's trying to make you believe that everything he's doing is going wide, is going viral all over the net. Now let me tell you something. If you don't know it today and write it down. If you are so daft now, or you are so carried away by stupidity or by ignorance to the point where you will not reason right or reason very effectively, let me tell you today, right now, everything that Simon is doing and all the things you think is going viral is just a social media program. That's where it is going viral. That's where it's going viral. And Biafra or nothing. He doesn't represent anybody. All the noise of dividing by Biafra territory and giving it names, all the noise of telling you that the name have been changed and this is this, that is this, and this place is no more called this place will be called this, and Biafra ID card, Biafra ID passport, Biafra this, Biafra that, currency, and all of that. All of this stuff are just things to manipulate you to keep contributing and sending monies, because those things are for nothing. They are just social media program. I can decide to do some stuff and start posting on social media, and those who believe me will be promoting it. Anyways, it doesn't have any effect on the ground. It doesn't have any effect on the people. It doesn't have any cogent effect on the things that should be, felt and understood by the people. It doesn't have any economic effect, political effect, social effect, or otherwise. It doesn't have any effect at all, and it doesn't change anything on ground. The truth about it is that you're only being excited on social media. That's it. You're just being excited on social media, and he's exciting you with all of this stuff because he knows that you will always, when you post something on social media, to be as if, wow. Social media has a way of and of creating illusion in the minds of people. Illusion is a psychological thing, and he understands the psyche of those who are being misled, because he knows that based on the situation we find ourselves in, the contraption called Nigeria, and also in the frustration that we have individually, not being able to meet the needs of the families, the frustration, the pain of what people are going through. He knows that you would always be so much concentrating on emotions rather than sensibility. Your sensibility faculty would be dormant, and your emotional faculty would be more prominent or more dominating, controlling or dominating and controlling your reasoning. And so he knows all he needs to do is to patronize, carry out, do things that would stir up your emotion and make you feel relevant. And of course, every human being wants to feel relevant. So he makes you feel like he is giving you relevance and you're going to get your freedom very soon. And that prompts you to accept anything he does, whatever he does, and you want to accept and do whatever and believe that everything he does is right. And that makes you, even when you discover or see or notice criminality, the faults, and all the things he's doing, and he tells you that it's just propaganda, even when you are being deceived by him, you will take it to be, yes, he's actually on the path of truth. Let's just go. If we don't follow him, whom are we going to follow? And the problem here is that you want to follow and you want to be relevant. Two things are the problems with you. Two things are the problems with you, those of you who are following Simon. One, you want to be relevant. So all his words are making you relevant, because when he says you are going home, or we're going to deal with them, that you want someone to fight your fight for you. So you want to be relevant. You want someone who is standing and fighting your fight for you against the contraption. You want someone who is speaking tough on your behalf, and you're excited. It makes you excited because you want to feel relevant. You want to feel relevant. You want to feel relevant. And that is a major problem, because you want to feel relevant. So you need someone who's going to prompt you and make you excited and feel relevant by their words and by their actions. Two, you are so emotional and desperate to be free. And based on the fact that you're suffering and you're going through so many things and all of that, these are the things that are making you accept his nonsense, accept everything that comes, and then you accept anything he does as real and as good and as something that you just have to support in spite of whatever. You just have to support. You are doing these things not because you actually think that it is right, but because you're already emotionally encapsulated to accept anything and accept anything as long as you feel like you are being defended, you are feeling relevant and all of that. And these are the problems. And so he will continue to capitalize on that to deceive you, to collect your monies every Saturday, and there are those ones who pay during the week to continue to collect your monies. Now I want to tell you something. You see, that man came and gave the publication, and I'm going to play that stuff that the man said to you. I'm going to play that stuff the man said to you. Now, even on my status on WhatsApp and all of that, I posted this issue of this girl. I posted a picture. I'm going to go point the picture to you today so that you can see it. This girl is under the captivity is of Simon's boys, who are in Okigwe and all those places, hiding, kidnapping, raping, and any girl they see, they will, like a teenager, they carry her and then they terrorize the family, terrorize the people, and make them feel like they should like they should like they are exuding their control using the resources you give to them, the monies you give to them. They're exuding control using those monies. And that is very, very terrible, because you are funding, whether ignorantly or stupidly, you are funding them to continue to exist, to control you, and to control you to control others, and also controlling you to control others by taking the valuables of people, stealing from the people, and all of that. You are funding all of this criminality. Let me tell you something. Those of you who are funding Simon Ekpa and his criminal gang, the social media criminal autopilot government, those of you who are funding him, let me tell you something. If you don't know, you are indirectly, in fact, you are directly complicit. You are accomplices. You are part of the criminality meeting. You are part of the criminality. You that is funding them, because you don't reason. All you want to do, you want to feel excited. Oh wow, our crime minister, oh our this, and then he posts to you, we have done this, they decimated. All these talks, all these things he's posting all around Biafran. I went there recently. Go all around there. The military checkpoints are still there. I get information every day. The military are still in control. Their tanks and strategic places or where it's being controlled by them, by the government. Onisha, everywhere in Biafran is controlled by the contraption. He doesn't have a control of one community. And you have been contributing monies, and you have been talking about freedom. And you have been talking about going and getting your freedom and declaring Biafra. Is it that you, please, for God's sake, you have to be sensible. I don't want to always insult people anymore, because people will call it insult when you're trying to make them listen. It says you are insulting them. Sorry, my environment is noisy. The windows are open. People are talking downstairs. Sometimes people talk very loud. So now, look at what this man said. From in that video, the man actually cautioned Simon and told him not to talk about it. Now, listen to this.
I'm a proud Biafran, based here in Russia. Currently serving in Russian army. As you can see, I'm making this video from the front. So this video is for Simon. Lately, friends draw my attention on my award video and some of those you are using on your platform. I think it is not welcome. I think the first thing you should have done is to first of all seek my consent. I don't belong to any autopilot. You understand? I have a Russian family, and there is a need to defend the Russian Federation against terrorists in NATO. And I volunteered. People know that we Biafrans were the most bravest people in the world. Again, Biafrans in American soldier, American army currently serving. Yellow Biafrans in British army. Why don't you use their photos? Why must it be me? So, bro, it is totally unacceptable to me.
Now, do you know why? I just wanted to play it briefly for you guys to listen, and it's not loud noise, and the Bluetooth stuff is not here today. Hopefully, by God, I'm bring it next time so that you can hear what I'm saying. And if you listen to that guy very well, he actually said this guy posted his stuff without his consent, because he knows the intention. You know why he knows the intention of Simon? He asked himself, why? He said, why didn't he seek my consent? Simple. He wants to use you without getting you involved. That was why he didn't comment. He didn't say anything in the video. He just posted it there. He just posted the guy's picture, posted everything about the guy, and wanting to take glory. He's someone who wants to take glory in everything that happens around. He wants to take glory. He wants to take glory. Oh, AU Joy, good day to you too. I appreciate you for joining. Thank you so much. It's been a long time, It's been a long time. Thank you. I'm just seeing the message now. I just opened the message column and I saw the message. Thank you so much, Joy. He wants to take glory. Anything that happens, you see him, he will rush and post it, especially when he feels that he can put it there without commenting and saying anything. Now, such kinds of person, that's not the person you need. Mazen Amikan doesn't do those kinds of nonsense. Mazen Amikan does not have time for glorifying himself or to be relevant. If not, if someone who started the Biafran Freedom a long time ago before he started actively organizing IPOB, I think in 2013 or so, to when he was kidnapped. But he would have given himself several titles. He would have raised the government. He told you people, he said, you don't need a government because you have not even done anything yet. You don't need a government. All those things are just create bureaucracy that restricts you. You don't need a government in exile and all that stuff. Mazen Amikan said it. You know why? Very reasonable people. He understands the dictates of this whole thing because when you have such kind of bureaucracy or those kind of stuff, it is easy for the contraction government to penetrate you and British because they know who and who to hold. But when you have a structure that entails the people and everybody's moving and taking action and all of that, and somebody who is sincere and genuine is at the top, like Mazen and who is the one we actually follow, then you're going to have an upright system where they will struggle. And we decentralize it in a way. That is why it was very dangerous that after Mazen Khan was kidnapped, every one of us started promoting Simon. Somebody was telling me on Facebook and said he can't imagine that I was one of those who promoted Simon until things started going bad. But right from the time they knew he was bad and all of that. I said, well, I just wrote him there. But well, in my mindset, when you just need a reason to actually, because we know that nobody's perfect, but the truth about it is that you can't be a criminal and claim that nobody's perfect. No, once you're a criminal, you're a criminal. We know people can do things wrong, yes, but when your intentions are not right, you will continue to do things wrong deliberately. So there's a difference between doing something deliberately wrong and something that is done because we are not perfect as human beings. These are two different things. And this is just basic of why we have a very serious and crucial problem right now when our people don't reason. They follow blindly and all of that. Why would Simon post this man's picture? Why would he play his video without saying anything on it? Why? Ask yourself that question. Why? Just because he knows he's going to glorify himself. Two, you're going to target and mean, you're going to translate it to mean that he is working with this man and he is expanding, he is reaching out to the world, he is having team all over the nations of the world. If he does have, he would have posted it because posting this man means that he's desperate to have people who can go with his criminality, who will believe in his criminality in other places, and who are, of course, of the force, so that he will post their pictures and all of that. But he can't do that because he doesn't have anybody believing in him in all those places. He would only post the criminals whom he has given titles and portfolios on his so-called social media government because he has given them portfolios and titles. And of course, our people are very, very they like to show themselves. That is why most of them don't want freedom. They don't want Biafra to come. You know why? They want to always appear in the village and looking like the main man who is in charge. When they return from abroad, from America, from Germany, from wherever they are, wherever they have come to work as slaves and labor as slaves. Because whatever you're doing out there, whatever anybody's doing out there, as long as you we're not saying there's anything wrong with working outside, but when you begin to think that you are more superior than the people at home, then something is wrong with you. You will always be a slave unless you begin to get yourself to be appointed. If you are free, if your land is free and you go somewhere else to work, even at that, you are still not a full-fledged, partner in that place. You are only helping their economy to grow. Your place is lying fallow and low. What are you doing about it? Some of them don't want it to come. They don't want freedom to come because all they need is that whenever they come to their village, the young girls will run around them. They will sleep with the ones they want to sleep with, have sex with the ones they want to have sex with, and give tips to people around. This grandma from somewhere will come and greet them. You'll give them tips. This one will come, so they feel like on top of the world. And that is why when you create a program that is even criminal and give them positions, they want to grab it because their mindset, the mindset of our people, is very, very wrong. And that is why from today I'm going to be dedicating this channel to reorientation program, reorientation and talking about critical things that are wrong with us. Honestly, as much as I keep giving you information on the criminality of this guy called Simon, criminal in Finland, I'll still concentrate more time in trying to help us reason. We need to reason very well. We are just so much a problem to ourselves, and that has created so much backwardness, so much death, killings, betrayals, and destruction in our midst. Look at intelligent people, brilliant people, professionals, hardworking, industrious people, yet we are low mentally. We don't understand, we don't have the mental capacity to manage ourselves. And that is causing everything that is our strength to struggle, because we struggle with what we achieve, what we get. We actually end up messing everything up and then starting again from scratch and all of that. It is a big problem, fundamental. So when people say that we're not ready for freedom, just like what Shore said we're not ready for freedom. He has seen and noticed and understood the idiosyncratic, the average idiosyncratic behavior and attitude of an average man or a Biafran. And he, of course, when I say Igbo man, you know what I mean. Naturally, the name of everybody there is Igbo, and then we need to split to our own tribes and all of that. So when we talk about Igbo, even the Americans, the West, they know when they say Igbo, they are categorizing everybody in that territory. So when we say Igbo here, we actually, and we're not saying you're an Igbo man. We don't say it's a name for everybody. It's the first name we have. You know, before we begin to become Ijo, before we begin to become Efik and Shekiri and other places, you know, you know. So it's a very fundamental problem for our people. Now, this young girl, this young that is who is supposed to be writing the exam, who's supposed to be writing exams. Look at her name. Her name is Rainbow. This young girl who's supposed to be writing the exams right now is with Butuzo in Butuzo's camp, raped day and night in the name of he sent a statement recently to somebody saying that he wants to marry her. He terrorized the pit of the father and the mother and sent them away, locked them after a while, he locked them. And he his boys they went to what happened was that they went to his boys went to the shop where this girl is selling for the family for them to take care of their needs and all of that. And they also sell other things and all of that. And of course the packages, these people who measure fuel in containers and put in their shop. They came with their bike. They said they want to buy fuel. She turned the fuel into the stuff. Give me money. That's how they said, get into the bike. Why are you asking of money? Get into the bike. And of course, they're armed and all of that. Nobody could stop them. They put her on the bike, and that's how they took her into their camp. Their leader called Gentle. Of course, when you bring girls like that, he's the first recipient. And that is how this little girl has been in captivity for weeks. She's supposed to write in exams right now. Her father and mother had to try to look for her, and they went down there. They were tortured and beaten, and then they were sent away. And they were warned that if they make this public, they are going to be dealt with. This is not just the only girl. There are other girls, of course. There's some stories you are not heard, you don't hear because these things just go underground and all of that. How can we continue like this? This so-called gentle and Bituzo, they're all working for Simon. Did you hear someone mention that? Did he come out to, just like Mazen Namkano would do, and something like this happened, he will come out and say, anybody, and he said, if you are in custody, if you don't release them, I will make sure I come for you. He will come out to speak. Do you hear someone coming out to speak about it? Do you hear him come to condemn all the criminality, including the kidnappings and stealings and all the things they are doing? Did you hear him come out to say anything? No, because their program and their design is actually according to the Fulani template. Fulanis are the ones who kidnap young girls, put them in there and rape them and impregnate them. Look at Leah Shoaibu. She's still in the captivity of Boko Haram. Look at other girls and all of that. Other boys they kidnap and all of that. The kidnap boys they also rape them and they train them to be radicals, give them weapons to fight. The kidnap girls they also use them as second. So now Leah Shoaibu now here she has 2 children also. She's still there. She's there. The same program of kidnapping, maiming, killing, attacking, opposing, destroying and killing the people who oppose them. The same program that the Fulanis carry out, the same program that these guys are carrying out. Do you hear such kind of thing under Mazen Namikano? Immediately he will make the broadcast. So why are you comfortable with what Simon is doing? Simon is not saying anything. Mazen Namikano will come out and say something. From Mazen Namikano's statements and all of that, you understand that Mazen Namikano is actually saying that Simon is not on the path, on his path. He didn't mention his name, but if you are upright and psychological, very psychological, you will understand these details because it is just something that is so plain. He talked about criminality, he talked about the killings, he talked about who is funding all of those stuff, Simon. And all he needs to do is to use Mazen Namikano's name as alibi, making you feel like he's working for Mazen Namikano. What else? Those people who commit atrocities everywhere, it's not religion they use. Those who do lots of things and steal from you in your churches. It's not in the name of religion. Tell you tithing, you must tithe. If you don't tithe, you are a sinner, you are going to hell. You must take care of your pastor. When you bring your first salary in the year, you bring it to your pastor and all of that. Is it not because the religion? Because they know that by on the realm of religion, they hijack you and hold you emotionally, and you feel guilty for things that they tell you that you are a sinner for. Because you don't study, because you don't even know the details, you don't even know scripture. They tell you tithing is a sin and you don't know the scripture. They take your money every month, you give them 10%. You go work hard, you give them 10%. Aside the 10%, you also make other contributions to other things, which means that in the end of the day, before you know it, your salary every month, you are giving about 30% or so to the place where you say you're worshiping. You give them 30%, and then your family is struggling. You are looking for where to borrow money to take care of your children's school fees, take care of some other things that you could not. But your mind doesn't go that that tithe you give to them is also one of the things you should use in taking care of your family. What scripture recommends is that you support when there is need for supporting the lives of other people who are in need, not sponsoring private jet of your bishop and pastors. But what do? Religion makes you believe that. So when you talk about it, people want to fight it, they resist it because they have been bought over and blackmailed by religious tenets, and their mindsets have been, wired to be controlled by religious tenets. And that's what is happening also to our people. That's what is happening. You have been made to believe that whatever Simon is doing is good for you because you are just someone who told you he's going to stop the election. And the 2022 election was held. Was it 2023 or last year? Of course, last year, February, was held without resistance. But you contributed money. At a point, they came and said, I want you to be giving those who can give $5,000 every month or $10,000 every month. And people came. Some people showed up and gave monies. Lots of monies were contributed to buy weapons and all of that. Of course, I was in the advisory board then. I was the secretary to the advisory board, so I know the details of what was going on there. When Simon came to the meeting, when he said that everything is ready, he only needed some surface to air missiles or something, and which of course he said that they asked him how many. He said one. The whole of Biafra needs one. That tells you he's just looking for something to keep himself relevant for his boys to be stealing, and he'll be using it as a means of threatening the community and also making himself relevant to the Nigerian government so that they will be settling, because they will be settling. He'll kidnap their men, kill the ones they will kill, kidnap them, tell them to pay ransom, and all of that. Kidnap politicians, kidnap people, kidnap the little girls, rape them, put them there, having so many girls in their camp that they are raping and impregnating and all of that. And that's what he did. And the committee said, no, you need more than, you need up to 3 to 5. And the monies were raised. And he bought them. He bought them. Who knows whether he bought the complete 5? Because when the monies are raised, they are sent to Azuka or sent to him. There are some monies he collects on his own, such kinds of contribution from the advisory board he collects. And those people in the advisory board, of course, are desperate. They want to have, they are working with Nigeria, like Ngozi, she's working with Nigeria politicians and all of that. So she wants to penetrate him with funds. So she makes sure she brought one they call Oge. That one too came in. They are desperate to be on top. Oge made so many communications, which I'm privy to. I have evidence of. When he discusses with a particular person, he tells, when he's talking, he tells them how he's coming up, he's being in control now. He can make decisions, he can speak, his voice is now having blah blah because he was donating. These people had their agenda, not you. They were not interested in you. They are interested. They are not interested in not. They were not. They are not interested in you. They are interested in their pockets. If this little girl was your family member or your sister, because that's why I talk about patriotism. You don't wait until it becomes your family member kidnapped before you begin to shout, Simon, why? Simon, you have kidnapped my, your boys have kidnapped my. No, some of you are just there because nothing is happening to you. You are so comfortable, you are not doing anything. Because you are comfortable with what is going on as long as it doesn't affect you and your family directly. So you open your mouth and blab against those who are speaking. You open your mouth and blab and talk against those who are speaking. Let me show you her face again. She's still writing her exams. She is in captivity. Got her by Simon's boys, under the control and leadership of Simon. As long as Simon has not said anything about it, he's an accomplice. That's what he wants. He knows that is their practice, their normal and regular practice. So he will not say anything about it. As in American, if you try this and he gets it, the next moment he's coming on, he's coming live. As in American will be live immediately. You know, you people know what I'm saying. So why is this one that claims to be his disciple who's coming live all this while with all the atrocities they're committing? You know why? They had a meeting, as Luca said, those guys should be kidnapping to make money. We have the audio of the meeting. I played it before. You guys should kidnap to have money, to make money, which means it is part of the agenda. Anyhow we can make money, make money. We have given you guns and all of that. Go and make more money from other things. You can kidnap people and all of that and make more money. Make more money. This thing not be business. Everybody make DOS, they make their own business. Other people Anya is making their own business. Every other person is making their own business. Make your own business. It's all about making money. Because our people are money conscious, they're not patriotic. And you are desperate. Your desperation is driving you to be manipulated and deceived by these people. I just decided to tag this particular broadcast and make it very obvious about the issue of kidnapping of underage girls. And basically, maybe from tomorrow or so, when I have the time again to broadcast, the topic will be different. To be a success call, talk about so many things that concerns us. Because these things are becoming very, very critical and crazy. But we must continue, as Mazen would say. The evil ones will think that they have destroyed the whole narrative of the freedom front. They have scattered everything. They are taking over. We are now in control. So they can do Mazen that IPOB is now a criminal organization. So which means Mazen is a criminal because it's leading IPOB. When you say IPOB is criminal, you're saying that Mazen is criminal. If you are not specifying that so person is criminal, you are categorizing the organization itself, saying the organization is a criminal organization. That means you are indirectly telling the people who are prosecuting Mazen wrongly that he is a criminal, they should hold him. But if you have said this one is criminal, that one is criminal, because I know what this one have done, that one has done, that's a different thing. If I want to talk about criminality in IPOB, I'm not going to say IPOB is a criminal organization. As much as I know that most of them, some of them, they're part of selling Mazen. I will mention the ones I want to mention. Chikedozie is number one. I'll mention his name. He's supposed to know what happened to Mazen. Today he has not raised the fact-finding committee. So with that, I'm indicting him and Chinas and and some other people. But I will not come to tell you that IPOB is a criminal organization. IPOB is upright. It is designed under the auspices of truth. It is controlled by the narrative of truth. It is the objective and the functions and the attributes of IPOB is truth, nothing but the truth. So IPOB itself, the foundation is for truth. Individuals work under IPOB leadership. Doesn't make any individual working under IPOB leadership does not translate, and who is evil or who is corrupt does not translate to the fact that IPOB is evil. So for somebody like someone to come up to tell you that IPOB is evil, you should suspect him. You should know that he's a criminal. You should know that he's evil. He wants to indict Mazen. That's what he's doing. And when we talked about it, he now started saying IPOB in Nigeria. You can't indict IPOB anywhere, whether in Nigeria or anywhere. Because even the people he's trying to talk about, Chinasa, Chikedozie, and all of that, who he's having issues with, they are not in Nigeria. So why is he indicting Nigeria IPOB? And Mazen is in Nigeria. Have you asked yourself that question? Chikedozie is not in Nigeria. Chinasa is not in Nigeria. Those are people he actually has issues with, and other people, and other people. But he's saying IPOB Nigeria. He first of all he was saying IPOB. Now, when we started talking about it, he now said IPOB Nigeria. Now, if Chinasa and all that are not in Nigeria, why is he talking about IPOB Nigeria? Mazin Ambikano is the one in Nigeria. Does that not make sense to you? If you don't reason, that means he's in Nigeria. Hold him there. He's a criminal. I am now the new person in charge. That's what it is. But you won't reason because you are just, whether you're under the spell, his spell, or whatever you are. I don't know what you are in. I don't know what is holding you. But the truth about it is that you are just being a fool. Chinanza is not in Nigeria. Chikedozium is not in Nigeria. The only person who is the leader, the main leader in IPOB in Nigeria, the chairman, the one who is the director, is in Nigeria under the captivity of the contraption of the British government and the contraption and its contraption. What does that mean? That means you're telling those who are holding him, who is the leader of IPOB in Nigeria also, that he's a criminal. They should hold him. Some of you will not reason. You know, to you, it's not. To you, that's not. That's not true. Forget that thing. You're just being jealous and envious. What will I be jealous and envious of Simon? What does he have? What talent is it to post pictures of running on the track and field? It's not to post pictures of run athletics. You're running. If I want to run, I go and train and run. Isn't that? What does it take to run? It takes decision and determination to. It's what you have energy for. What else can he claim that he has that is something that one will envy and jealous? Oh, he's collecting your monies. I don't need your money to succeed. I have the brains to succeed. So I don't need your money. So I can't be envious of him stealing your resources. Thank God I'm not part of the funds in Biafra. Even when we started accountability and transparency group, it was because of funds that I had issues with some people. I said it won't stand. If you cannot be transparent in this angle, we cannot move on. So those of you who are saying, hey, you can understand, no, I stood against criminality, even in transparency and accountability group. Because I said I don't want to be my name to be part of funds. No, I don't want to be there, but we must be transparent. We must put it transparently. And some of them were trying to fight that transparency. Some people want to be in control of other people and make decisions, and other people will be there and just swallow it. And they want me to endorse it because they know once I endorse it, other people will just appreciate it like that. I said, no, ask any of them. Ask them why transparency and accountability group is like it's not functioning the way it's supposed to function. I stood against criminality. Even those ones who were fighting me, they know. That's why they cannot come out to talk anyhow. Because they know that what I stood for is true. Even the so-called elders and all of that. They want to control. They want to, control funds, control decisions and all of that. No, that was not why it was created. Because you cannot be in the path of lies and think you're going to achieve anything of truth. So these are the things, these are the factors. These are very, very fundamental things and issues that we should handle and deal with. And I tell you, if you think that you can achieve this thing by being criminal or supporting evil, Simon has lots of months to between now and December to collect more monies from you. If you stop giving him money, then he believes he has collected enough. So all he's doing now is to promote, caption ideas, bring pictures, bring propaganda and all of that, so that you continue to bring your monies every Saturday. You can imagine he has about 30-something Saturdays more, or maybe 30-something Saturdays more to the end of the year to collect monies from you. That's the the weekly, luncheon. What about those who give daily? Who send their monies during the week? And those who give huge sums of money. I don't need your money to succeed, so I don't need what will I envy Simon for you? Collecting your money, he's already cursed. And his team, they're cursed. So I don't want to receive that kind of curse. I can't fight the God of Biafra. No, I can't. Stealing your money? No, I don't. So what will I envy him for? Is it because he said he was an athlete, he was running? Is it because he is collecting your money? These are the two things you will say. I don't need your money. I'm not a runner. Is it intellectually? He's not up to me. He cannot sit where I sit. Is it the places I've gone or the people I've met? even before he started recently begin to try use the issue of Biafra to move to places he says he's moving and meeting his Finnish prime minister, blah blah blah, all those people. Before he started all this journey, just recently happened for years. I've been going to also Rock. I've been doing things. I've gone to the office of the presidency. I've met with the former Zaraki, who is the former Senate president. I've met many of them because of projects, intellectual narratives and concepts, not for deceit and manipulation using other people's stuff. No. So when you are talking about envy, I don't know what you're talking about. You guys are just daft. With envy what? No, what I don't do. You know, the places I've gone, you know, people I've worked with, the offices I've occupied in service to humanity, not in criminality. So I am proud of myself because I am making impact in people's lives. Till now, see the name of this, see the logo here. It is impact, touching lives. It's not for criminality and stealing people's name, telling them to contribute every month. My own money is going into it, touching the lives of people. And we're expanding by God's grace, reaching out very, very strongly. So if you say about envy, I don't need to envy. So I'm only trying to help you to understand. That's why I come to talk about Simon. Envy and all that stuff. Bother dash. I come to open your eyes. If you don't want your eyes to be open, now you sabi, but I'll keep telling you the truth. Those of you keep insulting me. You're insulting your own self because that's what you are. You know? So I want to appreciate you guys. I'll stop here because I have messages to do in the office. I've work to do, so I'll stop here for now. Hopefully by God's grace I'll come up maybe in 2 days or tomorrow. However it is, whenever the time permits me. I want to appreciate you guys. OAU Joy, good to have you. Thank you. And those of you who don't know that I'm up, so watch later. God bless you very good. So if you are watching now, God bless you. We'll continue to do what we have to do to tell us the truth. And from henceforth, we're going to be looking at the things that will help us to freedom that we're seeking. Not all this child's play. You saw what that man said in that video. The man said that this king is not part of it. The man said, don't be deceived, don't be manipulated. He advised you, rightly. Those of you, because of your madness with someone, you will insult him. Anybody who comes to tell you the truth, you will insult the person. And you sabi. If you like, accept. If you like, not accept. Now your business. Now you sabi. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you guys. And God bless you. Very good.